was that?
Net worth.
It's mine.
Alright, here we are. I'm officially making this a series. Welcome to the second video in my net worth series. My last video was in October of 2024, and now we're doing one in November of 2024. My last video took more than 30 minutes, but not this one, and the following videos in this series won't be as long either, since I won't explain my assets / liabilities, etc., because they've all been explained in the first video. So, nothing more to add, let's begin. Asset 1, cash, $160,781.37. Since my last update, the cash amount has gone up, since I've been working, obviously, but also some of this money is due to some recent gambling winnings, which I'll mention later, and since I spend way less than I earn, obviously this number only goes up. There is more than $5,000 I have pending in cash back though, so this is really more like $165,700. But I'm not counting it for this particular video, but you will see this cash, alongside extra money earned from my jobs, in the next net worth update. Asset 2, stonks, $10,742.77. This has gone up since the last update due to some good swing trades I've made recently. MicroStrategy has rocketed up alongside Bitcoin and other crypto-related stocks after Trump was officially re-elected. I've also had some other swing trade wins too, but the most noteworthy ones are my longs on MicroStrategy and Shopify. My longer-term portfolio also went up a little. Asset 3, crypto, $1,869.21. As you can imagine, this has gone up for reasons I just explained. Asset 4, punting / gambling. Currently, this is sitting at $687.49. So in my last net worth video, I mentioned how I had nothing in this account, since my entire account was pending on the US election. Well, since then, I decided to deposit some money for this election since I saw data that was just too clearly pointing towards a Trump / Republican victory. So now I have some money in there. I made more than $3,800 in profit, as mentioned in prior videos, but I didn't leave this entire profit in the account. I withdrew a lot of it, and left some play money in there. Now I'm playing with house money. My first few NBA bets for this season, which I made after the election, didn't go so well. My Mavericks and Pelicans bets both lost by only 2 points. Fucking typical for NBA, hey? At least I didn't have money on Miami versus Detroit the other day, am I right? Jeez, that was a blunder. I should make it business, my NBA picks, and I'll tell my clients to gamble against the teams I bet on. Literally a flawless strategy. Although, to be fair, I do win some here and there, but whatever. I'm losing $10 to $15 per these NBA bets. Who cares? I just made thousands on the election. I've also currently got about $150 riding on the Jake Paul-Mike Tyson fight coming up. To be honest, I forgot this was even a thing until I realized you could gamble on it on Sportsbet, because it was one of the first things you see when you open the app. I checked the odds. Jake Paul was paying $1.50, so a 50% return on my money if he wins. I don't know anything about boxing, but I imagine the young guy can beat the old guy, so I chucked $100 on that. The win makes up for my NBA losses, or if he does win. His odds actually got better in recent days, so it's paying $1.56 or $1.58, which means he's less likely to win now, so I mistimed that. But even if I lose, it's who cares? It's $100. I just made $3,800, you know what I'm saying? I also have some other bets pending on the day of finishing this script, so this balance could be higher, but it's not going to make a big difference one way or the other, since these are only $10 to $15 bets, not $1,000 bets like my election trades. Asset 5, superannuation, $59,156.32. This has also gone up since the last update because of injections from my employers and the market rising as a whole. Asset 6, equity / real estate, same, $66,250 in equity. My land developers emailed me the other week actually, and they said that the titles have been pushed out again. So whatever. More time to save, I guess. But the longer this land takes to get sorted, the longer I live at home, and the longer I go without rental income, etc. But at least I keep my beloved equity. I actually went to visit my specific lot the other day. I was hanging out with a friend after work, and we had dinner, went for a walk, went for a drive, and yeah, we visited my block. Pretty cool. Asset 7, business. I'm going to keep the value at $500 like last time. No need to change it. Asset 8, items. I'll stick with a figure I used last time. $3,500 for my watches, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, gaming consoles, etc. I'm sure I could get $3,500 for all of this if I really needed to sell it all. Asset 9, my car. It's probably gone down in value since last time, but I'll just do rough revaluations on these once every several months. It's not worth the effort of checking this valuation constantly. Asset 10, pay-as-you-go installment credits. Ignore this. I was basically opted into some quarterly tax payment thingo due to the income tax I was making from my business and interest income from the bank, which wasn't that much, but it was enough to trigger this automatic enrollment system. However, I opted out of this and stuck with my yearly tax payment plan thingo, which is the way I like it. So disregard this line. Should have really deleted it, but I guess adding this in can be a nice timestamp in my game of life. I'll look back in a few years and be like, hey, I remember that, when the tax office tried to get me onto this payment plan thingo. Alright, so the total of all of my assets is $311,297.16. Not bad, but that's not my net worth. We also have liabilities. Your boy ain't debt-free, you know. So let's talk about those icky liabilities. Oh my god, it gives me the ick. Liability 1, credit card. In terms of credit card, we have no credit card. Liability 2, car loan. In terms of car loan, we have no car loan. Liability 3, student debt. In terms of student debt, we have no... Nah, I'm kidding. We actually have student debt. So mine has gone down since my last video. Did I pay some of this off? Nope. So why did it go down? Because I got my tax return for the 2024 financial year done since my last video. Now, the amount you owe back on your student debt here in Australia depends on your taxable income. And because I have a fuckload of deductions, since I'm a smart accountant tax boy, what I owe on student loans is unknown until I do my tax return. Well, I could kind of preemptively figure things out, but you never officially know until you've submitted the tax return, right? I can't just check my gross income, figure out what I owe based on the student debt repayment table for that gross income, and then work out my student loan repayment. It'll depend on my tax deductions. But either way, my student loan has gone down by $5,111.37 since this is incorporated into my current tax debt. Speaking of, liability 4, current tax debt. So I got my taxes done as I mentioned, and in total I owe $7,566.67, which includes some student debt repayments. So if I had no student debt, I'd only owe $2,459.98. So this amount comprises of Medicare and extra tax I didn't pay throughout the year. Keep in mind, I would have owed more than $13,000 in tax without the savvy tax deductions. So this isn't that bad, especially considering how much tax I'm not paying throughout the year. And out of this tax owing amount, $1,858.68 goes to Medicare. Some people in Australia think healthcare here is free. No, you pay for this each tax return. You pay 2% of your taxable income, and if you make too much money / your taxable income is too high, you pay a Medicare levy surcharge, which is an extra 1 to 1.5% depending on how much extra you make. And unfortunately, I will probably have a taxable income of more than $93,000 even after my savvy tax deductions next financial year. See this table on screen now. I won't explain it here. I may explain it in a future video, but basically I've got a lot of tax deductions planned for next financial year. But as you can see, even after this enormous deduction amount that I've cooked up, it's still not lower than $93,000 because I just simply make too much. Well, I mean, I don't make millions, obviously, but I make too much in the sense of avoiding the extra surcharge for Medicare in Australia. So I'll have to pay extra for Medicare next financial year, but you can avoid this extra surcharge with private health insurance. And actually, this script's a bit outdated. It doesn't mention that I've bought private health insurance now, but I have bought it. I think it actually leaves me a little bit extra money out of pocket. Like, it would have been cheaper overall to actually just pay the Medicare levy surcharge. But if you buy private health insurance before you're 31, you avoid like these extra premiums. And in the future, I'm going to have like a lot more taxable income, despite all the deductions I can cook up. So in the future, this private health insurance will be cheaper than paying the Medicare levy surcharge, but I don't think it'll be cheaper for this upcoming financial year, if that makes sense. But anyway, back to the script. But private health insurance is priced in a way where it costs more to pay for this than the Medicare levy surcharge in most cases. Actually, my side tangent before kind of nulls this point. It's in most cases where you're in like the lower income area for the Medicare levy surcharge. Like if I had an extra $10,000 in taxable income, it would definitely be cheaper to have this private health insurance. It might become worth it as I start earning more though. So again, I just mentioned it in my side tangent that wasn't on the script. So without student debt or paying my part of the Australian healthcare system, I only owed the government $601.30. That's pretty damn low considering how much tax I'm not paying each payslip at my wagey job, since I've claimed the tax-free threshold there. So basically at the wagey job, I'm being taxed as if it's my only job, but it's obviously not. So if you remove my student loan repayment debt thingo and chipping in my part of the Australian healthcare system, I only owe like 1 weekend's worth of a payslip to the tax office for an entire year of basically not paying as much tax. So that's pretty good. Pretty good. So I'll pay this tax debt by around 21st of March 2025. I could have sworn I had longer than that to pay this, but whatever, I'll deal with it next year. Now, quick note, my calculations are slightly off since I've got conflicting info from certain tax documents, so I'm not sure exactly how much I owe in tax or how much is comprised of my debt and Medicare and whatnot, but they're close enough. Like they'd be off by like $50 or something, not even that. Liability 5, real estate debt, nothing to report on here for now. So my total liabilities are $52,144.72, up from last time simply because I got my tax return done, which gave me a tax liability. So my net worth is now $259,152.44. Higher than last time! Obviously, that's what you want. You want this going up. Not bad at all. Another month of progress in the money or investor stat, however you want to look at this. But this is just one part of my life, part of the game of life. I'll improve this net worth value, as well as my career as a whole, my investment strategies, my gym progress, my brand growth, my tax knowledge, and a bunch of other endeavors. Thanks for watching. That is all.